Wow.
Hey,
Early start.
well, I was all set up already, basically, and
Yeah.
so jump
Cool.
in, jump in.
Jump in. Logging. We're going to do some
Uh,
logging today.
yes, as opposed to dropping a log.
Drop it. Well, if you connect it from your laptop, you could do the show. Well, drop. No, wait. You started this, Brian. I blame you.
A polite thing to do would be just to kind of like
Brian with the toilet humor.
leave that one be. All right,
Well, no, it's that awkward silence of, does he know I'm on the toilet now, or is he just joking?
right.
But I'm pretty sure you don't have a full-size window behind the toilet in your bathroom or a green screen set up behind your toilet. I'm pretty sure about that. So, pretty sure you're not sitting on the... About 90% sure.
But it is a pretty good idea to do that. I mean, it would be simple.
Yeah.
In fact,
screen or window?
The powder we have, the powder room we have, which
Uh-huh.
is basically a sink and a toilet. The
And
width
sink.
of the room is not that big, and you can get one of those stretchy curtain thingers.
Oh, yeah.
So you can make a quick green screen curtain, pop it behind the toilet seat, and boom, there you go.
And if you're ever out
And
of
we're
toilet
thinking
paper,
about this way too much.
if you're ever out of toilet paper, you got a backup plan right there.
No. Shoot.
Oh man. Oh, where can we go from here? It can only get better from here. We can't get worse than this. I don't think we can.
That's not at all.
No,
Not at all.
no. I do have a story that's worse than that, but I'm not going to tell it.
Yeah, okay. So, how was your week?
You know, when I was a kid,
Quickly dodging.
Actually, I got a story that's in the same wheelhouse, but not worse. So I'll tell that one instead.
Okay, all right.
Because when I was a kid, sometimes you come up with an idea, and you don't come up with the idea necessarily because it's a good idea, but because it's right there. And when it's right there and it's so perfect, you think it's a good idea. And
Right,
I
of course, yeah. Oh, that seemed like a good idea, and everybody else was kind of going.
yeah. Because like when you're a kid, you play outside and you play with things, and you do things, you get dirty, you get your hands in the mud, and I realized one day that if I took mud and I rolled it into a log shape and I let it dry out, it looked amazingly just like a turd.
Like the real thing.
And when you're like, oh my God, I can make a perfect replica of a turd, the mind of a child thinks there must be some use or purpose for this.
Exactly.
I mean, what? This didn't just happen. This clearly means something. And so I was like, oh my God, I've got it. Decorations for the bathroom. And I thought this was a great idea. I could make these. I could sell these a little because it's themed
You
right
could
with the
sell them.
bathroom. Right.
Well, actually,
You put it on the back of your toilet. It's a little ornament, and it goes with the theme of what the room is for. It kind of ties the place together, you know. You were starting to say.
Actually, Rocky Mountain National Park. It's the only place I've seen it. You go to these gift shops, and one of the things that's a popular thing is that they take what are they called? Horse apples.
Okay.
Horse shit, basically.
Right.
I think they seal them somehow, whatever, and they sell them as bird turds.
Bird turds.
Oh, and they decorate them like a bird. I forgot that part.
Oh,
Like,
okay, okay.
okay.
So this is shit made to look like something else for ornamentation, whereas I was taking mud to make it look like shit for
Yeah,
ornament.
yeah. You were straight to the point. Let's
Right.
not dodge
It's a
around the.
bathroom. We know what this room is for. What is the appropriate ornament to put on the top of your toilet tank? A fake turd. Not at all thinking that maybe the last thing you want to see when you walk in a bathroom is a turd someplace other than in the bowl. You know? So
Of course, in Australia, it's common. In fact, I've seen it all over Australia.
okay.
They sell this little leather bag that
Okay.
is allegedly a kangaroo scrotum.
That makes sense. I think I've heard of that. I you
But
know
is it really? No, I don't even want to know the answer to that.
I don't see why it wouldn't be.
It would be a good place to store your family jewels. No, I didn't say that, did I?
or your nuts. You know, bag of peanuts.
Oh, I do. I like
Yeah.
the ads for nuts.com. They have some clever ones.
Now, Dune Radigan, that's an upper decker. So I actually had to give this a test run. So I made the perfectly formed mud poop, let it harden and dry out, and I put it in our bathroom on top of the toilet tank. And I was proud of this, and I showed this off to my parents and my family. It's a decoration for the bathroom. Because you poop in the bathroom, it's a poop, you know. It's and my
Just
parents,
in case you weren't sure where to go, right?
and my parents had a good laugh at this, which I thought was a good sign. And I was heartbroken when after they showed it off to some friend that was there, like, look at what our kid did this time, and they all had a good laugh at it. My dad then picked it up after the laugh was over and chucked it in the waste basket, and I was confused, like, wait, I made that for the. Why would you? I made that.
You liked it, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
Right. And he was like, nah, come on, get serious. And they wouldn't let me keep it on the toilet in the bathroom. They
Oh my.
and thus ended my attempt at starting my empire of riches, selling bathroom ornaments. Yeah, but that's okay. Luckily, I discovered computers and it all worked out. But
Right.
how about you? You ever make creative things with mud in your childhood? No.
I can't think of anything. You know.
The thought never occurred to you that you too could make mud.
Yeah,
look like
right.
turds
Definitely.
And make your parents proud, decorating the bathroom with them.
Right. Or yeah. Or other things made of let's just say natural substances.
Mud is a natural substance. I mean, that's yeah, all natural mud.
Yep. Excuse me.
So anyways, I'm here. You're here. I don't know if Mars
Dune is here.
is going to
Yes.
be Dune is here, and actually, I wanted to just briefly. I had no dog in this fight, and I don't care all that much. I just find it amusing, but I was caught off guard yesterday when I brought up the topic of the Elon Trump feud. And when I mentioned the whole threat of cutting the funding, that Dune was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Dune writing in that he would love to be a fly on the wall when your dad tells his version of all the stories. I don't know if my dad remembers half of these stories.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I don't know, kid making a mud
Probably
shit
laughed
in
it
the,
off, and that was
in
the
the
end.
bathroom. Not necessarily a notable day in the life of my dad, but anyways, so Brian, you've been watching this like Twitter, feud thing
The
unfold.
Twitter wars between Donnie and Elon.
Yeah,
It's completely laughable. I mean,
I
these
think
guys
it's-
are thin-skinned and so ego-driven. It just blows the mind.
Well, it's also kind of the world we live in today for everyone. I mean,
Sure,
it's they kind of reflect us as a society as well. But it is sad that we've reached the point that even the president of the United States can't help get into a Twitter war with a friend. Maybe, I don't know what the status is, but
whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
What
and you wonder, is this all fake?
Well, there are the people that are going, he's playing 4-dimensional chess, man. It's how he can kill the bill and save face. Like there's some kind of plan to kill the bill, but he doesn't want to, get the blame for killing the bill or something.
Donnie wants to kill it?
Right. That's the 4D chess theory. I don't know how widespread of a theory it is, and I don't buy it.
I don't know.
There's a lot of theories. I think it's just...
I don't think so.
I think Elon has an opinion. Trump has an opinion. And they just can't help but speak their minds to the internet.
Well, the bizarrest thing is that, and on his last day, Elon showed up with a black eye.
Right.
And Donald stated that he's the one that gave Donald the right eye. I mean, Elon the black eye.
Well, it would obviously be a joke, I would think.
Or whatever.
I mean, there is a theory that maybe they were joking. So that's a theory.
Here's actually one that makes sense. People say, well, Elon's right eye has the shiner, right?
Okay.
Trump is right-handed. Chances are, if they're looking face to face, it would be the left eye with the shiner.
Right. Okay.
But Stephen Miller is left-handed.
Oh, let's get him in on this conspiracy.
And so, in fact, I heard early on that it was Stephen Miller that gave him the shower before there was the confession by Trump. And I kind of go, well, if Donald actually confesses in this statement, can he be charged with assault? Oh no, he's the president of the United States. He won't be charged.
No, he's immune. So, it was done. It was done carrying out presidential duties.
That would be the excuse
it's kind of like that's kind of like our version of, if you discuss business at lunch, then you can expense the meal as a business expense. If you punch the guy in the face while discussing national matters, you're immune. See, working in the office, you learn things and how to apply them to other situations. So,
right.
but no, he did. I mean, I have a few articles up here with the timeline of the tweets, because basically Elon made a statement he didn't like the bill. Trump was asked, "Hey, what do you think of Elon saying this?" Because of course, media's got to sensationalize it for idiots like me that eat it up. And so while Trump's given his opinion, which I don't have that statement in front of me and don't remember what it was, it doesn't, which basically whatever, Trump rambled on something about it. And Elon takes to the internet and goes, whatever, keep the EV solar instead of cuts in the bill. Oh, that's right. Trump said it was because of cuts in the bills to his programs that Elon got all pissed off about it. And so then he said, keep your instead of cuts in the bills, even though no oil and gas subsidies are touched. Very unfair. But ditch the mountain of disgusting pork in the bill. In the entire history of civilization, there's never been legislation that's both big and beautiful. Everyone knows this. Did he review every legislation that's passed? I'm sure we can find one example. Either you get a big and ugly bill or a slim and beautiful bill. Slim and beautiful is the way. And then Elon gets the big cojones to go, without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would control the House, and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate. As much as I'd love to blame Elon for Trump winning the election, I'm not buying that. I'm not. Like, how big of an ego.
He did put a lot of money into the election.
He did,
But we
but
have
I don't
seen
even know
many-
that Trump needed him. You know,
Well, but we also seen where
I mean, the Democrats didn't have a platform to stand on this time around.
But
They really didn't.
In this last go around, there are a lot of examples of other races where a person put in a lot of money and he still lost. So
Yeah.
money does not guarantee that you win. You've got to have something else to it.
And then Elon starts a poll going, is it time to create a new political party in America that actually represents the 80% in the middle? Yes, no. I don't know how that poll turned out. I don't have access to that. But given that Elon's like, hey, should we start a party that represents 80% of the people? I have a feeling 80% of the people would, you know.
He does not
if
command 80% of the people.
No,
he does not.
Well, to be fair, let's remember, Elon used to align himself with the Democrats, and then he accused the Democrats of going too far left that it forced him to the right. And then he leaned way into that. So I don't know where Elon's ideals really land. I mean, he'll align himself with what's good for him, but he's aligned himself with both parties at different times. You know, it's and that's it's I'm not certainly people are entitled to evolve in their thoughts and change their mind on things. I'm not trying to give him crap for that. I'm just saying that I don't find it surprising that Elon would suggest that maybe there's something in the middle that should happen. It tracks his history, you know? Makes sense to me. I don't know how you start that party.
And look at the record of third parties in this country. It's very bad.
Well, on the presidential level, it's very bad. I mean, the best we got was Ross Perot up on the stage for the debates, which made things fun.
He didn't create a new party.
No, he didn't.
He just ran as independent.
But he got in the debate.
Party. The last new party that I can think of is Theodore Roosevelt's Bull Moose Party. In fact, I have a family member, a grandfather, I think it is,
okay,
that was a member of the Bull Moose Party.
Huh.
He wasn't running for office, but apparently you could register for it.
So that was at 1:57 p.m. on June 5th. So then 2:37 p.m. June 5th, Trump on his Truth Media thing goes, the easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. That's what I was referring to yesterday. That Trump made that whole thing about, easiest way to save money in our budget is to terminate Elon's government subsidies and contracts. Now, he doesn't say that.
He's assuming that Biden would think like he does. He doesn't.
Well,
as far as I know, he never terminated a contract for political reasons.
Well, then after that was sent out at 4:09 p.m. on June 5th, Musk tweets, in light of the president's statement about cancellation of my government contracts, SpaceX will begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately. But then another X user urged him to cool off and take a step back for a couple days, and Musk replied to that, good advice. Okay, we won't decommission Dragon. Now, I guess you could say, dude, these tweets are not fucking serious. Why are you even treating it like it's serious? And I'm not. I'm just saying that they did say this. This is the dick waving that we were, watching unfold. I'll cut your funding. I'll ground my spaceship, which is why Biden didn't cancel it, because we kind of need his spaceship to get to the space station and stuff. You got to come up with a replacement before you cancel things.
Well, the whole thing with the Boeing Starlink or whatever the hell it was that went to the space station, they decided it was too dangerous to use it to return humans to Earth again for whatever reason.
Okay.
And so they sent it off unmanned and it landed fine. What the fuck was that about?
I don't know.
It just makes no sense.
Of course, the big
Well,
bomb that everyone was talking about was Elon tweeting that, Donald Trump is in the Epstein files, which I'm like, are you just talking shit talk or do you actually know something? Because that's quite a, like, that's not.
that would be a big deal. And then
If you don't got anything to back that up, that's kind of a dick move right there.
and then you have people that follow up and says, yeah, but Bill Gates is in that. And you don't know that either. Maybe he is, but it hasn't been released. So you can say anything you want. Hillary Clinton is probably in there too. What the hell, right?
and also, just because someone's in a file, I mean, does it all? I mean, he had a lot of contacts. I don't even. That's one of those topics that I'm just like, people really can dig into that one. But it's way too depressing for me. It's like, okay, I don't, wake me up when there's some news,
Yeah.
You all have fun speculating about all the awful shit and who did what. Wake me up when there's news, So yeah, no, that's what I was referring to. Is this actually the most important pressing stuff facing our country right now? Absolutely not. It's just a couple of billionaires having a dick measuring contest online,
Speaking of a pissing contest, no. Back on the subject. I went to this small,
good to put a curtain up
gas
for
station
splashback.
or a gas station or just a a convenience store, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I went to I got to go to the bathroom, and I think they were just closing or something was weird, right? And the guy just kind of says, well, we don't have a bathroom or something like that, right?
Right.
So I said, fuck him. I looked around the back of his place. There were bushes all over the place. He's got a bush, man. Back to that other topic. Like, oh, okay. No way.
Anyway, so I was waiting to see if Mars is going to show up because I have quite the topic today, and we might want to dive into it. But I was hoping that let me see if I got a response back from Mars. Although the problem is that I had to try to send the link to you and Mars multiple times because I got the error from Twitter that we were overloaded. Try again later. It wouldn't send the damn thing through. It took like 10 tries before it would finally go through. So I don't know if he wrote back and didn't realize that his reply that he can't make it didn't come through, or if he's delayed, or if he's. I was hoping he was going to be sitting there waiting when I.
Is he off someplace or what?
I don't know. I haven't. Oh, you know what? I should check my texts. He usually texts me when he's going to be not on the show.
Go through the texts.
Go through the texts. Nope, I've not received a text from him today. But we are more than 15 minutes into the show, so we should probably. Yeah, we are. And
15.
And
we said 50. I go, wow, are we halfway through already? No.
You ask yourself that throughout the whole show, don't you? Are we halfway through this yet? We there yet?
No, I'm usually not interested in halfway through.
Is it over yet?
You like honesty. You like honesty.
Brian made a funny. Let's see. Did we chase off Dune? I think we chased off Dune, which is too bad because we actually have real content. That was just I just wanted to address the comment that I was claimed to be making up yesterday, and no, I wasn't making it up. It happened, and that's that. And who cares?
Yeah.
I just cared about.
I take it.
Cleared my good name.
Don was
Don.
Dune. Dune was Dune. Yeah. Whew, lost my brain here a second. Dune was okay with that topic. I take it.
It was tense when we briefly did. Basically, what I did was I always open the show with a song when we start the show on Sunday, and if I funny reference to something political, I'll use that as the opening song. And sometimes I'll just kind of wait and see if it goes over his head or if he gets the reference. And sometimes it's just so blatantly obvious I just lead into it. Like last week, I used for the opening song "Putting on the Ritz" by Taco, and I didn't say anything, and he didn't say anything, and I have no idea if he picked up on that. But
Right. That's a funny reference. That Mr. Thin Skin just really went nuts over.
Well, he thinks he's got this brilliant strategy, and time will tell. And
Right.
so it's he has strong feelings about that. So and ask what he thinks about something, and he'll tell you. Hey, rocket science, that's Elon's department. But no, so we're actually getting a few laughs out of you this week. Is this going to be the rare week when you're like, wow, over already? I was having so much fun. I can dream, can't I? No, so yesterday I opened the show with Popcorn by Hot Butter, and I even had a little bowl of popcorn, and I'm just smiling eating the popcorn because, like, that's, the reference I made that, this little Twitter battle has been fun to watch. I'm just sitting here eating popcorn, and he immediately got what I was referencing. And so
in fact, I've seen people, someone will post, one of the memes of the battle, and a person will show. There's that Jon Stewart video where he's kind of leaning forward, eating his popcorn like a madman.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
love that one, and I see that a lot.
Well, I like the classic Michael Jackson from the Thriller video, sitting in the theater eating the popcorn with the smile on his face.
Okay, all right. So one last thing on this topic.
Okay.
So there was a tweet from Trump that actually came out of Social Truth, and one of his staffers, I presume, reposted the image of it on Twitter or X, whatever. Right? I'm trying to keep up.
It's Twitter. It'll always be Twitter.
I know. I always call it Twitter. In fact, I have to kick myself when I call it X because it's stupid.
Well, that reminds me of a clip, but go ahead.
Anyway, so Trump is going on about Tesla, how it's a piece of shit car or whatever. And in one place he calls it gay car. And he wouldn't be caught dead getting into the car. Now, there's that clip from a couple months ago where Elon gave Donald a Tesla, and he, does the photo op where he is at the car. Does he actually get in?
Do
you remember? It seems to me that he did, but the still that they showed was him as standing there in front of the door with the door open. And anyway, in the tweet from Trump, it suggests anybody that has a Tesla, I wouldn't be caught dead in it. Those type of things. Tesla is gay.
Right.
And I kind of go, okay, so
we
Tesla,
can get a picture of him in one.
Elon did give him the car.
Right.
So it is his. He owns a Tesla, unless he turned around and sold it right away. Right.
Right.
And apparently he's getting into the car, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Of course, does he even know how to drive? I mean, he has drivers, right? Never mind.
I
anyway,
place a bet on
kind of
knowing
like,
or not knowing.
Is this an admission? And I don't have a problem with it by Trump that he himself is gay. Do you see my logic to it? Which
I see. So you're saying that this was Trump's way of coming out.
Well, yeah.
And there's nothing wrong
if
with
you want to go into the absurdity of it, sure.
I see. I see. Well, here is a little clip I found. This person does these little skits. He's one of the streamers that he'll generally post shorts of a conversation, and he plays both of the people in the conversation. And so this is a conversation between, Elon Musk explaining to the ignorant, not rich person how rich people do the things they do. So this kind of breaks it down, how the world works in these things. And so I'm just going to, I think he does a pretty good job with these. I'd be curious what other people think of them. But anyways, here's one that's a conversation based on Elon Musk explaining why he sold Twitter to Grok.
Why did you sell Twitter back to yourself? I sold X to XAI, which is a shell company. No. XAI is a very real company that I own 54% of. It's actually the technology behind Grok. So Twitter's chatbot owns Twitter now? X. XAI owns X because Tesla's stocks are plummeting. Yeah, but let's take a step back for a second. Based off of publicly available information through a series of firms and shell companies and selling some of my own assets, I probably had like $5 to $10 billion left that I needed to get to buy X. So you leveraged like $10 to $20 billion in Tesla shares to get the loan. But now that the share prices are tanking, that means everyone's shares are tanking right now. Okay, well, the bottom line is that your collateral isn't worth as much, so now the bank's getting antsy. So I sold X to pay back the loan. Not exactly. Never a simple fucking answer with you people. Why not? Well, for one, I lost $11 billion on the deal, but also I was paid with shares of XI, not cash. How could you possibly lose $11 billion when you sold something to yourself? Oh, it was on purpose. Bingo! Remember capital gains? Well, I just lost $11 billion on paper. So does the government give you, like, taxes back? What, are you rich? Oh, that's right. You're one of those guys. You used that very recently on Twitter. X. I said it. It's X. Since I lost $11 billion on paper, I could sell... plus, I can sell assets until I hit $11 billion in capital gains without paying any sort of taxes. So you're just going to sell off like a ton of Tesla shares and then pay back the loan? No, I will probably sell off other assets and then pay back a little bit of the loan to take the pressure off. And then, honestly, I'll probably buy more shares of Tesla. And why are you going to do that? Buy the dip, reconsolidate my power, the price is going to go back up. So even when we fight back and it feels like we're making a difference, you use that as an opportunity to attach one of your toxic assets, Twitter, to a more impressive sounding AI company that you're getting a bigger stake in while also walking away with more control of Tesla. We can only speculate, but you have hurt my reputation. You've made it harder for me to raise funds. You made me cry on Fox News. There's a reason that I am not sleeping at night. So don't lose faith. You fucked me, but don't expect me not to try to soften the blow. God, I really want to hurt you, but you make me so sad. Why is everybody so hateful and mean to me?
So yeah, that sums up the oh, for fuck's sakes, I shared the video and instead it showed the starting soon slide throughout the whole thing.
Oh, which one? Oh, there's no video on this one.
Well, the video was just the same guy in two different outfits going back and forth. The conversation was the meat of it.
In fact, is this the same guy you had shared once before?
I don't know if I've shared him before.
Well, just replay the beginning so we see the guy's face.
All right, now I got to figure out how to turn off this fucking slide. Oh, here we go. I have to remove that.
We are coming soon to reality. Yes.
God, it didn't used to do that. It used to be if you went into camera mode and then you went and you shared a different window, it would show the window you selected to share. But they updated something that now causes it that if you don't specifically remove the slide you were sharing and it's still considered existing in your environment and you go share something else, instead it will share the other thing. I need to figure out how to put this into a bug report so I can ask them to fix it. So
why did you sell Twitter back
Okay, so let's find this again. Here we go. And let's actually share it properly this time. Oh, there we go. We got to remove that from studio. Now we can go here, share screen. There it is. So this is the dude.
To yourself. I sold X to XAI, which is a shell company. No. XAI is a very real company that I own 54% of. It's actually the
So that's the guy. He's got a mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I've shared him before.
Yeah, I sort of recognize him, but I'm not sure if you shared him before, which is fine.
He does a good series of videos on how like people take perfectly good companies and ruin them and profit off of that, that type of shit. He the type of shit that I absolutely hate. That people like me absolutely hate and wish would be made fucking illegal. Those leeches that do nothing good for society and just destroy a good thing for $1. That type of shit.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Which is depressing.
In fact, I don't know if you watched the whole demise, from the Wall Street point of view of Sears, which was under.
Well,
Sears.
what? That was Mnuchin that destroyed Sears, right?
I don't remember the guy's name.
No,
but
there's
this
the stereotypical looking accountant in Trump's cabinet of his first term.
Was it? I don't recall
Mnuchin. Yeah, that dork.
Yeah,
he had one of those punchable faces.
I didn't make him a connection with Sears. Anyway, so Sears had moved around, and the last place it moved that was publicly traded was Sears Holding, and they owned Kmart and probably other shit as well. And you could see this was tanking down. In the last quarter that was available, it was worth 0.00007 cents per share.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just tiny. This is way beyond a penny stock, right?
Right.
But if you followed that, you could realize, people are actually making money at that. Because, in fact, if you look at the first quarter of that year, which I think was 2023, and then it was delisted, right?
Right.
The best performing retail stock, and we're talking about Amazon, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, Target, you just go through the list. Who made the most money in that quarter? It was Sears Holding. Because if you bought at the bottom, at the beginning of the quarter and then sold a little bit later, you would have done really well.
I think one of the last Sears that are still open is in Braintree, which it's a little far for me to go to a department store, but I could totally drive there.
I think the one in Concord is still open.
I think there's I think you got a one hand how many Sears are still open. Let me ask that question. How many Sears stores are still open? Let's see what the internet says. As of December 2024, you're getting real current there. Fucking grok. There are 8 Sears stores still open in the United States, including one in Puerto Rico. So California, Burbank, Concord, Whittier, Florida, Miami, and Orlando, Massachusetts, Braintree, Texas, El Paso, and Puerto Rico, San Juan. So yeah, you're right. You could go to Concord, I could go to Braintree, and we could both still shop at Sears. But you cannot buy Super 8 film from Sears.
Damn it!
Or any film from Sears.
Well, in fact, I did, when this was probably even a year ago, I did go into that Sears location and looked around. Originally, it was multiple floors. I think it was 2 floors, kind of a basement level where lawnmowers, tools, exercise stuff, all that kind of stuff was there. Well, that area is all closed. I think they use that like warehouse space.
I see.
Okay.
Huh.
So
So they're stripped. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess they
anyway,
probably.
so it is apparently still open. So oddly enough,
Well, that's something, I suppose. But anyways, I have less depressing
but
topics.
here's the interesting thing. So it's that's Sun Valley Mall.
Uh-huh.
One of the interesting things, that guy that was in customer service, Jerry.
Jerry. Oh,
Black
Jerry
guy,
with a G.
really nice.
With a G. Yeah, I remember him.
It's so long as I forget.
Yeah.
Anyway, really nice. He has before in his life before Tharco, he had worked at some outfit in Sun Valley Mall, some retailer. I don't know what
Okay.
it was. He didn't go into detail. But while he was there, one of the things about Sun Valley Mall, there is this small regional airport that's nearby. Okay. Private planes, et cetera, et cetera. If I was going to learn to fly, I would go there. Right.
Okay.
There was a private plane that had crashed into the Sun Valley Mall, Sun Valley Mall,
Oh.
some years back, and Jerry was in the mall at the time.
Oh, wow.
Either he was working there or he just happened to be a customer there. I'm not 100% sure which, but so here the mall had this plane crash in it, and now it is one of the remaining Sears locations. Kind of a bizarre thing.
That
Was it really meaning thing? No, I don't know. What meaning would you like on it?
Well, anyways, you know what that music means.
And I just checked Google Maps. It is still open.
Do you know?
Open for business, and it is open for business right this moment.
But Brian, you know, despite the cost of eggs, despite inflation, there are still records out there that could be had for $1 each.
Really?
Really. And today we're going to visit what does $1 get you in the dollar bin today? What can you get for $1? And I've got a pile of dollars here that we're going to go over. So it's everyone's favorite when we do this. We used to do this every week in the first year of the show. Could you imagine that every week we had selections from the dollar bin? Now we're lucky if we do this once a year. So everyone really looks forward to this. So I got the turntable set up in front of me. I got the dollar bin records here. And heck, Brian, you might know some of these. You might have grown up with some of these. You might have bought some of these. These might be your records. Do you still have any vinyl left, or did you get rid of all of them?
No, I still have them. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a
box
turntable?
like this? I have a turntable. It's not set up. I've been tempted to do that.
There we go. There we go. One of these weeks, you're going to have to show off when you set up the turntable and what's in Brian's record box. So anyways, what I want to do...
Although I did show you some CDs that were my dad's.
Okay.
And you had no interest in any one of them.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. But anyways, what was I going to do? I was going to look up one of these records on so the first thing I got on top here, now this was a deal because this was 2 records for $1 is what we have here. And this is, have you ever seen this album, Brian, with the big red ball on it? The big red ball.
Jimmy, what is that?
This is one of those like Warner Brother Records samplers that you could bail away from the order form and the inner sleeve of their albums.
Oh, okay.
You remember those? You remember seeing those?
I vaguely remember those. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was all this promotional shit.
They had several of those, and they were usually double albums and had different odd names. This one's the Big Red Ball, is what this one is. So it's a nice sampler of what was on, it's just called The Big Ball, and it's 2 records of random samplings of Warner Brothers Records catalog, and this one came out in 1970. So we'll have to see if you bought any of these records back then. Were you buying records
Absolutely.
in 1970?
Shit, yeah.
Okay.
Most of mine records are from the 70s. Late 60s and 70s.
Okay. So we got the Fifth Avenue Band with Nice Folks opening up this collection.
Nice folks got me singing all day. A smile just a hello when my mind is away. In every
I can't say that I even remember even hearing of this before.
Not familiar to you. I guess their promotion didn't work all that well. Well, we can
Right.
jump ahead a little.
so don't you start smoking till the light goes out.
I think this is John Sebastian, Red Eye Express.
Hurry up soon. We can't hardly wait for you to start.
I don't know. Did he have any other hits besides the theme to Welcome Back, Kotter after he left 11 Spoonful?
Oh, that's where that voice is familiar.
Yeah, that John Sebastian.
Yeah.
I mean, it's... Yeah, I don't know. I guess that one didn't catch on. But let's see what we got here. Got some trombone on this one.
Really good farty sounding trombone, huh?
Great big old southern town with hospitality. You will surely find the population there is very, very.
Oh, I skipped one.
with everything.
So this is Jeff and Mariah Muldaur, New Orleans Hopscotch Blues.
Surely is something rare there.
Mariah Muldaur kind of rings a bell for some reason.
Well, yeah. Actually, I have one of her albums that I also bought for $1. We'll get to that.
Yeah, okay.
And then we got some Arlo Guthrie here. This is a good one.
Coming in from London from over the pole, flying in a big airliner, chicken flying everywhere around the plane. Could we ever feel much finer? Coming into Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. Don't touch my bags if you please, Mr. Customs Man.
It's everyone's favorite drug smuggling song, Coming into Los Angeles.
Exactly.
Now, did you own that one?
You know, I never did buy any Arlo Guthrie. Is that bizarre?
Well, what did you play on Thanksgiving? You gotta play some Alice's Restaurant every Thanksgiving.
Good. I mean, good point. But I never really got into that.
Yeah.
Into that. What do you call it?
So you get the idea. It's a nice sampler of 1970s Warner material. And what's interesting is once we get to side 4, they get into the stuff that 1970. Frank Zappa had a contract with Warner Brothers Records. He got his own label with Warner Brothers Records. So they had to promote his stuff, but they put his stuff on side 4. So yeah, side 4 is where all the interesting stuff is. So we dropped the needle somewhere here. Let's see what we got. It's the GTOs, which stands for Girls Together Outrageously.
With your big fat tippy-toe Teresa shoes, a jacket with virgin buttonholes, reaching for experienced buttons, thin striped cords that circle his porcelain ankles, funneling down to the captain's hat. Teresa shoes, the tea the C-strap stands for tippy toes. His tippy toes fit him to a T. OCB do
I don't suppose you bought that album.
with your big fat tippy toe.
No?
No,
GTOs in your
and
collection?
I don't recall hearing this even. Would
Which
that
makes
be a proud member of my album?
it's
collection.
quite a the original album's quite a collectible these days. I think I passed up on the opportunity to buy one for about $100 a few months ago, and but I did not get any Herman's Hermits in this pile.
No.
But that I don't think I saw any Herman's Hermits, but I already have a lot of Herman's Hermits, so I'd probably not buy it again. I did buy a Herman's Hermits 8-track. I guess it was about a year ago now. Time flies. But of course, you know, since we're promoting the Frank Zappa material on Warner, we got to put some Captain Beefheart on here.
Oh, yeah.
So did you have this one in your collection?
Actually, no.
Ella Guru. No?
No.
Hi, Ella. Ella Guru. What do you think, Brian? You gonna run out and buy this one now that we promoted it?
If I could find it for $1.
Do what you mean and you do what you do.
You know, I kind of tend to like. Sparky is asking, got any Herman's Hermits?
Right, that's why I talked about that.
Okay, I just noticed that comment there, and I don't have any.
You don't?
No, isn't that weird?
That is weird.
XM radio, we listen to that going down to the beach house quite a bit because we have time to do that.
Right.
And often we'll hear, we switch between channels all over the place like crazy idiots.
Of course.
We'll hear some different songs by the Hollies, and I go, "Oh, the Hollies!
The Hollies.
That's the band that Graham Nash quit to come to the U.S. He was pissed off with them. They don't do what I like, and had this attitude. And and by the way, he abandoned his wife and his kid.
Ooh.
So
that sucks.
Asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we don't know the story. Maybe he went to his wife, described that he's got to go to LA to move his career on because he's in the fucking gully. And she said, "Good luck, go by."
Who knows?
Just don't know how that went down. But he does look like the asshole.
It does. But then again, Fraser Crane looks like the asshole in his show because he left his kid back in Boston for his career in Seattle.
Well, I mean, that stuff happens. And in fact, I had a boss when I was in Denver. He knew, everybody knew, that this little family startup computer business was not going to make it.
Mm.
So, in fact, on the company's nickel, he sent out resumes, mailed out, because the internet wasn't big enough yet. Or it didn't really exist yet, because this is like 84, maybe 83. Sent out tons of resumes using the company's stamping machine to get a replacement job, and he finally did. At that time, he was dating this young woman, and the manner in which he said he's moving to Texas, I think it was, for this job, was not well thought through. He did it like an asshole. Basically says, "Oh, hi, Jenny," or whatever her name was.
Right.
I'm moving to Texas, for this job, this great opportunity.
That's not the best way to broach the topic.
Not at all. Not at all. Anyway, so I think after she thought about it a while, said, "Yeah, okay, I'd like to go with you. if that's open. Dumbass. It's just, people do stupid stuff.
You know what that reminds me of? And this was such a lower scale version of that it didn't occur to me. Because remember the time that we had Easter dinner together?
That was in California, of course.
Yeah. No, you don't remember coming out here to Massachusetts having Easter dinner with me? No, yes, that was in California. Your wife was traveling for business, I think. Nick lived with his cats, and Kristen and our families are on the East Coast.
Right.
So Nick invited us all over to his place for an Easter dinner.
His place. Yes.
Right.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So we all went over to Nick's place and had Easter dinner together. And
now I remember. Yeah.
And after watching some thrilling curling on the TV screen, I decided that, this evening had run its course. And so I kind of did like a little, like a kind of a, well, I think I'll be going now, kind of thing. And you and Nick kind of felt like that, the way I said, I'll be going now, not will be going now with Kristen. Like, I think you were both thinking of asking Kristen, well, are you going too, or are you staying? Cause I remember you kind of teased me a little bit about that at work the next day. That I instead of saying, hey Kristen, should we go? I was like, well, I think I'm going.
Yeah. I
you can come with me if you want.
I don't remember that incident, but yeah, that makes sense that I would actually say something, because it did sound like a bone ass head to move to make, but
But,
hey, we all make mistakes. I've made that kind of mistake as well.
Well, Kristen didn't even think anything of it,
Sure, yeah. But actually, a lot of times,
I knew she was ready to go.
A lot of times when we're on the show and she is not even mentioned, I go, I wonder if Johnny has buried her in the basement yet.
There's no room for her down there.
Ooh, that could be taken really wrong. Did you really think about that when you said it?
Yes, I did, and I was like, "That's dark humor," but I'm going for it. No, actually, Kristen,
you could be finding yourself buried in the basement.
Actually, I told a story yesterday about Kristen, and
Okay.
Dune blew the ending before I got there.
Oh,
Let's see if you can too.
I'll play ignorant because I did not watch the episode for Jolly True.
Okay.
So tell the story, and we'll see if I catch the punchline.
All right. So this goes back some years ago, before COVID. Kristen had an annual physical, and one of her blood results came back with an elevated level of something. And so the doctor prescribed medication for it. And the doctor also said, you need to go on a no animal protein diet, all vegan diet, no animal protein, no meat, no cheese, no eggs, nothing with animal protein in it. And I remember Kristen came back like, I have to do this. And I'm like, oh, geez, really? Not because I don't want her to take care of her health, but I'm kind of dubious I kind of feel like that sounded like a bogus, like, diagnosis that you have to go vegan for this, like, but okay, if that's what the doctor says, I'll support you, but are you sure that this is really mandatory or necessary? She's like, no, she made it very clear. She was very clear and direct with me, no cheese, no eggs, no, nothing with animal protein.
Yeah, and you'd have to really say that, because if someone just said no animal proteins, I would not even think of eggs. I'd have eggs anyway.
Right.
But
and she did really good with it. She took it very seriously. She lost some weight but
I should have. Sorry, I should have muted first.
But she might have had some gas. Maybe you were in sound effects. Maybe, is that supposed to be a vegan fart effect? I don't.
No, that was
go
blowing
for
my
there.
nose.
I know.
For some reason, my stupid ass nose is running like a fucking faucet.
Oof! I was just working your noises into the story.
And why is that the case? I don't know. In fact, I'm going to have to do more than just that feeble attempt. So hang on. Sorry about that.
So anyways, that
well, no, hey, I'll be right back.
oh, okay.
Just should take 2 minutes.
Okay. All right. So while he goes away, we'll ask Sparky how he's doing. Hey, Sparky, how you doing out there? Good old Sparky. Still listening there. I chased Dune off earlier. But luckily you joined late, so you're still here. I just had to add an addendum to yesterday's topic that I felt needed correcting. But that's okay, because you're here, I'm here, we're all here. Who's still here? It says Mookie's here. I haven't seen Mookie chat, though. Let's see. Maybe if I had Herman's Hermits. Mookie, Sparky's here, Brian's here, and Bod Pro even left. What the hell? Either that or she's somehow invisible in the chat room. It's not showing me that in the... But anyways, I guess I can close that window now. What can I do while we wait for Brian to come back? Well, we could take a look at what else I found for $1. And I bought this for $1. And I had previously bought this for $1. And I decided not to keep it at some point when I moved from one country to the other. I was like, I only like the one song. And I have the one song on another record. But this is Mariah Muldaur's self-titled album, which has her one big hit on it. And I always found her voice annoying on the rest of the album, but it's been a long time since I listened to it. And I'm like, for $1, I may as well try it again. So, yeah, let's see if I still hate it or not. But yeah, $1 can still buy you a Mariah Muldaur album.
I just received your letter. You're down and out, you say. At first I thought I would tell you to travel on the other way, but in my memory lingers.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'll hold on to this one. I don't know why I sold off the other one.
I'm gonna give you one more chance to prove what you can be. Any old time you wanna come back home.
Well, of course, this isn't the hit. We got to cue up the next song for that.
Midnight at the Oasis. Send your camel to bed. Shadows painting our faces. Traces of romance in our hands. Heaven's holding a half moon.
Yeah, that's a good one. I don't know if I ever listened to my last copy all the way through, but Brian's back. Did you have this one?
Ooh. I don't. I can't think. Who is this again?
We even mentioned her name earlier.
We did.
Mariah.
Oh, yeah. That's where the name comes from.
Mariah Muldaur. That's where you do the name from. So yeah, $1 can still get you a Mariah Muldaur album.
Wow.
Inflation
Does she have any other hits?
I don't think so. She had other albums, but not other hits. This is one of those sad happenings. This happens at times. You get an artist that has a really big hit, and then after they have the big hit, they get the budget for the follow-up album, and the follow-up album gets a quad mix and has no hits. So Mariah Muldaur's big hit, this album, not available in quad. The album after this album, available in quad. But no one cares. Except me. But yeah. So I bought this. I bought a copy of this for $1 back in like, I don't know, 2004, and then I sold it and decided it wasn't worth shipping across the country. And then I saw this and I'm like, oh, it's still $1. Yeah, I'll buy another one. So inflation has not affected the cost of Mariah Muldaur albums.
How was her name spelled?
Muldaur. That's the last name.
A-U-R.
You're right.
Sometimes
MULDAUR.
Wikipedia does not. Oh, there we go. It even suggests Maria.
Well, that's how it's spelled, but it's pronounced Mariah.
Right.
And Sparky writes it, a good deal for decades.
Oh, born in 1942.
Yeah. She was in the Even Dozen Jug Band.
82 years old. Holy crap. Jim Quizen and the Jug Band.
Yeah, she was in that
Even
too.
Dozen Jug Band.
Yeah. She did some jug band stuff. I have those too.
Cool.
I think I've paid $1 for some of
Discography
those.
is lengthy.
She's had
Now
a
let's see
career.
if she has. Yeah, right. Oh, Jerry Garcia Band. Ooh. Paul Butterfield. Other
I mean, she's got one of those
contributions.
unique voices that people will use. Or
Oh, she
will
was
do.
on something with Linda Ronstadt. Did harmonies and backing vocals on "You Tell Me That I'm Falling Down." Oh, she was on a Doobie Brothers Stampede. Vocals on "I Cheat the Hangman."
Oh.
I mean, if you're going to be on a song, it's got to be cool, right?
Yeah. And she's got a unique voice, so it's good to put her voice on things.
Yeah, I mean, very, very recognizable. That's cool.
So then I found a Temptations album for $1. This one's called Masterpiece. And I'm like, hey, Temptations for $1, can't go wrong. Got to buy that. So I did buy that, and let's cue some of that up. Oh, I'm just queuing up the title song, which is it's a little crackly, but for $1, that's not bad. I haven't cleaned these yet, so maybe some of the dirt will help. But yeah, that one's a little noisier than I was hoping for. But hey, still a good album. Got that classic
Ooh, nice bass.
Temptations bass riff thing going there, you know. Kind of like that, you know, Papa Was a Rolling Stone type of vibe type of thing, but
Yeah,
different.
yeah. What was the name of the song?
Masterpiece.
Masterpiece.
Yeah. Got some cowbell on there. And this song is, I didn't realize how long the album version of this song. I've heard the single edit of this song before.
Ooh, instrumentation by the Funk Brothers.
The Funk Brothers. There you go.
Very famous.
Yeah.
Very famous. They probably made nothing on this.
And this version's like 12 minutes long.
For the professional reference, see Dory Funk Jr. and Terry Funk. So
Yeah.
Funk is not an uncommon, a totally uncommon name.
No. But yeah, not bad for $1. But being that it's a full length album version, it's got like a
they do
3
show
minute.
the personnel on this band.
What's that?
They do list the personnel on this song.
Oh,
Dennis
awesome.
Edwards, Richard Street, Damon Harris, Melvin Franklin, Franklin, Otis Williams, spoken introduction. Ooh. Oh, and then the Funk Brothers are
yeah.
which
Maybe I need to find the single. This is a little ridiculous. It's a good groove, but I can see why they edited it down for the radio. Got the horn section and the strings. Oh, there is a drum on this.
There we go.
Now they're getting
and
ready.
I'm still waiting for the vocals.
We are still waiting for the vocal. I mean, the Temptations are a vocal group.
Yeah,
So,
right.
you-
I
you
kind of
picked
go. Oh, they decided to do wait a minute. The Temptations would do an instrumental.
It could happen.
Yeah, right, exactly.
We're getting there. There's some vocals on this somewhere.
They got to go through one more round,
Boom.
right?
Boom, boom, boom. Oh, we got the flute building up here. Nope, one more. Come on. We get it this time?
Where I was born, everything was dull and dingy. I lived in a place they called the inner city. Getting ahead was strictly a no-no, cause nobody cares what happens to the folks that live in the ghetto.
Thousands of lives wasting away. People living from day to day. It's a challenge just staying alive. Cause in the ghetto, only the strong survive.
There we go. We got some vocals. I don't know. You remember that one, Brian?
Actually, I don't.
One of them were lower hits, I
Kind
guess.
of
or-
cool. Kind of cool though.
Oh yeah, it's definitely got that nice, funky sound that the Temptations developed later on in their.
Yeah.
And speaking of Motown, here's something that's not on Motown, but it could have been, because I saw this nice, colorful, disco-infused cover, and I saw it's Edwin Starr, who was on Motown. But this is an album from when he left after he left Motown on 20th Century Fox Records. So, yeah. And this one looks a little beat up, but I'm like, for $1 and one that I've not seen before. I've not come across copies of this in a while before, so I'm like, for $1, we'll see if it plays. And it'll probably be funky. It looks pretty funky. It's called Happy Radio. That's the name of this album. So let's see what Edwin Starr did after leaving Motown for 20th Century. We got some stereotypical disco drums. Just in case you didn't figure out this was a disco record, got some hand claps.
Right.
Oh, there we go. We are pulling out all the essential percussion instruments for a disco record. Oh, gotta love that synth bass. Now, Brian, you're not a big fan of the disco, if I recall correctly.
Not really.
So
I think because it, it's almost like partially because pop music moved away from, shall we say, classic rock and roll.
I see.
So it took over rock and roll's spot, and a lot of bands just gave it up. They could just quit, and other bands they converted to it. Seems to me like Fleetwood Mac for the first, basically kind of sailed through it. Well, we don't care about that. We're just going to go on. Where others gave it up. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, yeah, there's people that lean into what's happening, people that keep doing their own things,
Right.
people that adapted in creative ways. I mean, there's always a wide spectrum. But I guess if you had a band that you really liked and then they did something you really hate, you would have some bad feelings about that. But
Well, in fact, I think I have one Bee Gees album.
okay.
And it was one of their albums pre-disco. Because they totally went into disco.
Yeah, so that would have been Bee Gees' first, or Horizontal, or Idea, or Odessa.
Probably their first.
Is
Probably
their first.
Bee Gees.
What's that?
Probably Bee Gees, or whatever the heck that name was. Yeah.
Well, the first one was called Bee Gees First, which was technically like their third or fourth album, but the other albums were released in Australia before they went national, so they don't count. But yeah, no, Bee Gees First was the one that had New York Mining Disaster, To Love Somebody, Holiday. You don't know those?
Kind of.
Their second album, Horizontal, had
What was the first name you said?
New York Mining Disaster.
That kind of rings a bell.
Have you seen my wife, Mr. Jones?
Yeah.
Do you know? That's the one?
You can even sing. Wow.
Yeah. I can. I try to avoid it, but if I have to, I can.
Right.
It was required to get my degree.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I thought you just had to play and play your horn.
A music major requires a certain level of vocal proficiency, a certain level of piano proficiency, a certain level of proficiency on your major instrument of choice. So yeah, there were certain there was oh, we should have Gothard here for this conversation. But yeah, there was every semester you had the opportunity to pass your vocal proficiency and pass your piano proficiency. And if you didn't pass, then you had to take vocal classes and or piano classes for the next semester, and you could try again at the end of that semester. So you're always, there was a lot of motivation to pass those proficiencies after your first semester, because those were not fun classes. Those are pain in the ass classes.
Right.
It was voice proficiency, singing classes, group singing classes with a professional vocal teacher. We watched a video about tongue placement, and not the fun kind.
Oh, dang. So they taught that in school?
I wish. I'm sure somewhere they were teaching that in college, but not in the classroom. But anyways, what do you think of this disco record?
That's not bad.
Yeah, I think it was worth $1. It's got a lot of these. It sounds like it's almost comical how much disco cliches are in this record, but it's got some good synth bass. All right, a lot of random dollar bins will have an assortment of.
Holy crap. They came out with a song. The Bee Gees came out with a song in '65.
Okay.
Let's see what the name of the album is. The Bee Gees sing and play 14 Barry Gibb songs.
Well, yeah, that was their first album in Australia.
And the picture, there's one guy. He's got his hands like on a tree,
Uh-huh.
There's a guy that's standing behind him, and you don't see where his hands are. And a guy behind him, he has his, the third guy has a hand on the shoulder of the second guy. It's like, oh yeah, hey, and their hairstyle is like wild.
Yeah, well, that's one of their Australian releases from before
Right. That's what I thought.
their early career. So a lot of dollar bins will have an assortment of discarded dance 12-inch singles, and the thing is most dance 12-inch singles are not hits. I mean, they were putting new ones out every week, and DJs would play them on the club and throw them in a box somewhere. And the ones that weren't hits, they just ended up accumulating in thrift stores and Goodwill stores and things like that. And so you could typically find dollar bins of 12-inch dance singles from the 90s of stuff you've never heard of, artists you've never heard of, artists you've kind of heard of, but it's not that song, and
Right,
so
right. The voice is familiar, but
right.
who the fuck?
The good ones end up in the more expensive bins, but the forgettable ones get stranded in dollar bin territory to be picked over and eventually discarded. Now this one just had such a 80s looking, I think this has got to be late 80s, early 90s. And it's on the same label that Cameo was on, which is Atlanta Artists, a subsidiary of Mercury.
The album cover again.
I mean, just look at that. That screams a different era. And it's called Cash Flow. I mean, can you get any more 80s than that?
I guess. Hey, if who the heck does it? Money for Nothing.
Dire Straits.
Dire Straits. I mean, if a band can make money on a song like that, we can do that too. Cash
Flow.
Doesn't that have a good ring to it?
Well, that's
No, it
Cash
doesn't.
Flow's the name of the band. That's the Ticket is the name of the song.
Right.
Yeah, I could see this playing at the clubs in the 80s. This sounds about like what I'd expect to hear. Oh, this was worth $1. That's the ticket. And it's the extended dance remix version. So we get a long instrumental. Actually, what I should have done was put on the other side's got the 7-inch the radio edit. This sounds like just something you could hear in the background, just living in the 80s. It makes me think of a time, but I don't know that I've ever heard it before. What do you think?
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
Cash Flow.
So I'm going through the list, the different Bee Gees albums, see if I recognize the cover on Wikipedia, and so far I don't. But I came across this one. It's a studio album from them called Main Course.
Yeah, that had Nights on
And the
Broadway.
genre is pop, soul, funk, R&B, and country. Oh, what the hell?
No, Main Course
Take a
is
pick, man.
Main Course is kind of when they're starting to get a disco-y sound, because that's got Nights on Broadway on it.
Right. Because I mean,
Right.
the prior deal is soul, soft rock, R&B. Okay, that
Well,
sounds like the old.
Do you remember what the
Mr.
cover
Natural.
of the album you had looked like?
No, I don't. That's why I'm going through to see if I can recognize it. And 75 was probably too late. I don't think I was into them anymore.
No, you wouldn't have been. But was it kind of a black and white picture, but yellow?
I can't even remember.
But yellow, very yellow.
I cannot remember.
Because it could have been Best of the Bee Gees, which was a very yellowish, kind of black
Yeah,
and
but
white.
this would have
photo.
been early. Best wasn't that early, was it?
Well, that one was the best of in their early era. That one had like a lot of songs from the first 3 U.S. England albums. So that was a pretty common best of for the early stuff you might have had. Horizontal was the one that had Massachusetts on it, and
Oh, I remember that song.
was that on the album you had?
I'm betting it was. And which album would that be?
Well, if it was the album, it would be Horizontal. But if it was a best of, it would probably be that first best of the Bee Gees album that got the yellow cover. Anyways, that was worth $1, I think. Nothing wrong with a little cash flow. I got a cash flow for $1. Couldn't afford not to buy that. And also in the 12-inch single section, I found this one I bought strictly because it was listed as a disco record on Buddha Records. And Buddha released a lot of things, but I only know of one disco song that they were ever really known for, and that was More by the Andrea True Connection. And so this is something I just never heard of, and I'm like, for $1, why not try a random disco 12-inch single? That's when Buddha Records was trying to put out disco records. Could be interesting. And so this is RJ's latest arrival, Wind Me Up. Never heard of it. It's also a little beat up, but it was only $1. So we'll see if it's anything good or not. Well, that's definitely disco. Got the hand claps.
Incidentally, I see.
What's that?
I'm looking at Bee Gees Horizontal,
Yeah.
and I go, this looks like it's more than one disc. Well, I think the original release is just 2 sides, or 1 disc.
Right.
And in this 2006 edition, there were 2 discs.
They did do a reissue
So that
box
threw me.
set.
That threw me off.
I see.
So, and I was going to say I couldn't have owned it because I don't recall it being a 2-album set. Well,
But it would have been a 1 album.
exactly.
But does that cover look familiar?
Now, and they could be showing the other cover. Did they change the cover?
Well, there were 2 different covers. They were kind of similar, had from the same photo shoot, but
Okay, so yeah. So in fact, they show the other cover.
Yeah.
One, the oval kind of fills the whole thing.
Right.
Whereas the second one, it's backed off a little bit with more
Right. The British one.
or background around the oval.
Right.
And I don't remember that. See,
Okay.
it really helped, but it didn't.
Well, let me ask you if this looks familiar.
Let's see.
If I had to guess, this would probably be the record you had.
And that was just 1 disc?
That was just one disc,
No, it's possible.
but it's not resonating anything with you.
Unfortunately, the titles are all fuzzy, so I can't read them.
Oh, I can tell you what's on it. It's got Holiday, Got to Get a Message to You, I Started a Joke, World, New York Mining Disaster, To Love Somebody.
Oh yeah. Okay, so there's
First
a
of
couple
May, Spicks and Specks.
Yeah, there's a few titles I recognize.
It basically is a best of that sums up their first 4 albums, and
Right.
their Spicks and Specks actually predates those. Actually, CD copies replaced that with Tomorrow
Right.
Tomorrow, which was a non-album single released after their 4th song, without Robin. But yeah, that was a very popular best of from the time period that would have easily found its way into your collection. Now, what do you think of this disco record?
I mean, it sounds cool. It's cool.
It sounds pretty.
You could. I've been.
Generic.
You know, we've been doing this show long enough. I suspect that I've got a little.
Got a little that disco fever.
Yeah, it gotten over my hatred.
Some of those records are actually pretty good.
Right. Exactly.
Now, this one I bought, and I didn't realize that. I guess it makes sense. I just never thought about it. I didn't realize this person had a solo career. This is a 12-inch single of a song by Jerry Harrison, who I assume is the same Jerry Harrison that was in the Talking Heads. And I didn't realize he did solo material. I mean, I knew the other 2 members that were not the guy in the funny suit. David Byrne, right?
Right.
Right. The 2 of them did the Tom Tom Club thing, but I didn't realize Jerry Harrison did solo stuff. But here it is for $1. And this one's in much better condition than the other records I bought. Yeah, this sounds very 80s. This sounds about what I'd expect from Jerry Harrison solo.
Now, is he with the band at this point, or?
Well, if they're on it, he didn't list it under the name.
Okay,
well,
here's.
you mean when he released it? Was he still in the band?
Yeah. Is it? No. Well, no. Is he listing a band name with it?
No, it's just Jerry Harrison, Casual Gods.
Okay.
But I think Casual Gods is the name of the song.
I'm just looking at Wikipedia, and there's his the Talking Heads deal, a bunch of solo albums, and scrolling down, it's a bunch of singles, and then there's a list of a band, but there's only one song with it, one title with it. Like that could actually be the title, be the album cover name, because it doesn't have a listing of tracks on it. I'd have to dig into that. But the title of the album is No Talking, Just Head, and the band is called The Heads.
Oh, well, that was what the 3 of them did without Byrne. But, I guess Casual Gods was actually the name of the band. It's not the name of the song, because now I'm looking at Discogs. Jerry Harrison founded this band in the 1980s as part of his solo career. He considered Jerry Harrison Casual Gods to be a new band of their own at the time. This band project was abandoned in 1991 when he started to act as a producer. So, yeah, he originally formed this to be a band that he'd be in the front man of, I guess. Not bad.
So this album was called what again?
Well, let's see. Well, the band name is called Casual Gods, and it looks like they had an album called Casual Gods. But I'm not sure which song this is. I can't read the label while it's spinning, so I'll have to take it off. I
was saying, what is the name of the album?
Oh, well, the name of the album this came off of is called Casual Gods. And this song is called Rev It Up.
Okay.
Not bad. Worth $1. Now we get to the fun stuff. I got a few fun things here. And I know that was all fun too, but
see, this is the weird thing.
Okay.
I'm going to Wikipedia and I do a search for Casual Gods, and then I look through. Oh, come on. Oh, there it is. Fuck.
Okay. So anyways, this next one, I found the cover, and it looked more like a pack of bacon than a record. And I like bacon.
Who doesn't like bacon, right?
Who doesn't like bacon? Exactly. But I mean, look at this cover. It's got something that's clearly meant to look like the Oscar Mayer label on a plain package.
Move that closer to the camera, because
here, I got a screenshot.
it
I
looks
can share.
kind of like it, but does it actually say Oscar Mayer?
No, it doesn't say Oscar Mayer. Here's a better picture here. It says Dueling Technos, or Dueling Techno.
I see.
Pood, Bud, and Plug.
Made with pork and turkey.
Yes, made with pork and turkey. Now here's the thing that's a real shame. The wrong record's in the cover. I couldn't find the record that belonged in the cover, and I couldn't find the cover that belonged with this record. And this record doesn't have a lot of information on the label, so I'm not even sure what this is. But luckily, as you can see, I found this record listed on Discogs. And the other thing is that from Discogs, I found that it is available on YouTube. Someone has posted the song Dueling Techno because that's the name of the song on the single, Dueling Techno, and it's by Pood, Bud, and Plug, made with pork and turkey. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce all that. But anyway, so here's what Dueling Techno would sound like if I had the record. And it literally is Dueling Techno instead of Dueling Banjos.
Oh God.
Is that something?
And they're on separate channels, just so you know that.
Yeah, that they're dueling.
Right.
And they're techno. That beat, there's no doubt. It's techno and they're dueling.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Could you see yourself dancing to this?
Never. But it's cool. I like this kind of stuff. I mean, it's
random. And they start using sound effects from the movie in this too, which is fun. Let's see if I can get some of that before we fade it.
Drop them bitches. Come on now.
Come on, squeal.
Squeal.
Squeal. Squeal. Squeal. Come on, squeal. Squeal.
Yeah. What do you think of that? That's a fun.
bizarre.
It's too bad the record isn't in there. So instead, let's play the random mystery record that got put in this cover, and see if this is any good.
And the label is just not good enough for you to know what it is.
It just says Doolally D. I'm not sure what Doolally D is.
Right. You'd have to pull that up.
I've not had much
Search
luck
for it.
with that. I'll try again.
You ever try throwing Shazam at it?
I haven't yet. Oh wait, Doolally D does have a Discogs entry,
Oh, cool.
and they only has one single listed on it, which might be this. So this might be Floorquake.
Get out Shazam, man.
I don't know. It doesn't. Yeah, I think this is Floorquake.
Are you really ready for some super dynamite soul?
All right, so there we go. I found it on Discogs. This was released in '91.
Keep it playing. Keep it playing.
What's that? Oh.
Having it go through the headphones is probably not a good idea.
Yeah, well, I found it on Discogs. It's called Floorquake. It's by Doolally D. It's the only single he released, or they released.
Oh, so this record is a single.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's 12-inch single.
12 single. Yeah.
It's just I
So
got
they,
a cover for one 12-inch single, a different 12-inch single, and I gotta tell you,
Right.
I think I like this one better than the Dueling Techno.
Right. Yeah.
Brian, I think even you would dance to this.
I'm dancing inside my head.
Well, now that because I see it on. Actually, I don't know if I saw the cover for this in there. I might have to go back and look for. No, I think this would have come in a plain cover. So I don't know if I'll ever find a. I could go back there and try to find the record that goes to this cover, see if it's somewhere else on those shelves. But I don't feel like it. But you can't beat that Dynamite. That's a classic sample right there. All right, so that leaves us with our last find of this record trip. And, of course, I could not resist a good mystery. Because check this out, Brian. Plain black cover, plain white label, both sides. I have no clue what's on this.
Oh, the label is the real label is what you see, and it's got nothing.
It's got nothing. It's just a blank white label with no writing or
Okay,
indication
my
on it.
volume is going crazy for some stupid ass reason. Hang on.
Okay. And I have not played this yet, so I have no idea what's on this.
Okay, the magic will happen. Hopefully, it's not porn.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, I hope it's not, I hope it's TOS
Mounting
safe.
inhabitant 4KNN.
So let's find out.
Best
what-
viewers on Proto Boosters Online. Okay, whatever. Someone is telling us how we can get more viewers.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? It is our privilege to bring you at this time an eyewitness report of the first International Trepidation Contest. We are speaking to you from the ringside of the great Maple Leaf Auditorium, which is packed to the rafters with spectators, eager and curious. For the benefit of my listeners who are not acquainted with the facts relating to this event, it might be well to describe the two contestants. Lord Windesmere from Wapping Foghole in Devonshire is, of course, the champion of the British Empire. The challenger is Paul Boomer, native son of Australia, who, I understand, worked his way to Canada in the crew of an ocean freighter carrying a load of Melbourne cabbage, upon which, so it is stated, Boomer trains exclusively. I see now there's a bit of a flurry around Lord Windesmere's entrance, and yes, here he comes, Lord Windesmere. I'll see if I can get him to come to the microphone and say a few words. Joe, will you see if you can get his lordship to come over here for a minute? Tell him it's for the radio.
Okay, I'll get him for you.
Thanks. Well, Lord Windesmere appears to be in good spirits. He's smiling and chatting. Thrown about him is a beautiful silk dressing gown of perfect purple velvet, upon which is worked, I imagine it to be the coat of arms of the House of Windesmere. It's a beautiful thing. Good boy, Joel. In just a minute, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to have his lordship himself come to the microphone and say a few words. Right over here, please. Right over here.
Okay.
Yeah, right here. Yes, folks, here he is, right in the microphone, the champion himself, Lord Windesmere. Your Highness, how did you come to take an interest in this unusual art?
Well, I suppose you could say it all started over Lady Windesmere's fan.
I see.
Yes, I noticed she was constantly waving this fan in front of her face, so I asked her why the deuce she did it. And so she retorted that if I insisted on constantly crepitating, she had to fan away in pure self-defense, you see. So, my friends were drawn into the controversy and persuaded me to capitalize on my proficiency and sort of going for it and all that. That's all.
Thank you very much, Your Majesty. Thank you, and good luck to you. That was Lord Windesmere, a champion crepitator of the British... Oh, and here's a challenger. Here's Paul Boomer from Australia. Paul, over here, please. Please, ask Mr. Boomer to come over here, please. The radio. We want to speak on the radio. Just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. I think we'll have Paul Boomer for you right away. Yes, here he comes. His attendant has just pointed us out. And how did Paul? How? He just waves his hand in greeting and starts walking over to the microphone. And here, ladies and gentlemen, is Mr. Paul Boomer. Will you say hello to our audience, Mr. Boomer? Hello, Canada! Now tell me, sir.
The original
when did you first realize that you
crepitation
were
contest.
proficient enough to take a shot at the Empire Championship? Well, ever since I was a little nipper, I liked to fart. I remember I used to make my mother and father laugh their bleeding heads off when I used to let one go in church during the announcement of the
So
Lucky Day.
they're having a farting contest. Is what they're.
Apparently.
I found a copy of this for sale on Amazon for $95. Although
Worth every penny.
it's got a label though, so this is like a bootleg copy. I don't know.
I personally find the four-letter word much easier to say and more descriptive than the longer and more academic.
Well, it is interesting to look at records on or CDs on Amazon because sometimes the pricing can be just wild.
Ridiculous.
It can be two
yeah.
copies of the exact same thing, and you go, okay, so why are these prices on these two different ones
Yeah.
so vastly different? I haven't seen much over $100, but an $80 CD, you'll see one that goes for $25. It's the same thing.
So let's see how this farting contest is going.
Paul Boomer is to be the first at the post. That, I believe, is customary for the challenger to make the first effort. Yes, Paul Boomer takes off his dressing gown and strides to the farthing post. He grips it firmly around the top and flexes his knees. The signal to commence has not yet been given, so we may assume that these are just preliminaries. I think I have time to describe Mr. Boomer's outfit. He's stripped from the waist up and wears a tight-fitting trunks of powder blue trimmed with scarlet. These trunks are similar to those worn by wrestlers with one important difference. Excuse me. There's a hole about 6 inches in diameter removed from the seat. This, of course, has been done for obvious reasons. This symmetrical aperture is called the fenêtre de brise, literally translated meaning the zephyr window. Mr. Boomer's fenêtre de brise has a scarlet trim around its perimeter, giving a very provocative air to this genial Australian backside. There goes the signal to commence. You might have heard it over my microphone, a blast on the medieval Bronx Hussar Spiegel, the traditional woodwind instrument associated with this sport for centuries. And now a hush falls on the vast throng as Boomer walks slowly, deliberately to the farthing post. He's exuding confidence, and he gives one last all-encompassing grin to the tense audience as he grips the farthing post between a pair of hands that look as though they could splinter the post. Now he flexes his knees, much in the manner of a boxer. He seems to be concentrating on the very top of the farthing post. You can hear a pin drop, and here it comes. Oh, a beauty, a beauty. I think it was a triple flutter blast. Yes, that's what the judge signals. A triple flutter blast. That gives him 25 points right off the bat. And another of the same, and another 25 points. That followed by two I beg your pardon, 3 fuzzy farts in rapid succession. It's amazing how this man can change pace and style of offering by a slight, simple shifting of his buttock area. He's still gripping the post in complete concentration. Boomer now has a score of 65. Those last 3 fuzzy farts at 5 points apiece, adding 15 to his previous score. And now here's something coming. A flooper, a perfectly executed flooper. What's that? I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that was a follow-up flooper, the second time in the history of this sport that a follow-up flooper has been achieved in open competition. The only other time.
So that's quite the thrilling moment in sports history there, that we have a live recording.
Who knew that we could actually get that?
Do we dare find out what's on the other side?
Exactly.
I have no idea what's on the other side here, so we shall.
Oh, incidentally, you're familiar with the song Moon River.
Oh yeah,
very famous.
Yeah,
I just saw an image earlier. It was on Facebook, and this image described what Moon River really is, besides an actual river that's in Ontario.
Okay.
Ontario, Canada. People are paddling a canoe up this river. Right?
Okay.
And there are naked butts sticking out of the river, giving them a moon in the river.
That would be a moon river.
Yeah.
So let's,
it kind of ends your whole thought about, what the song is about.
Well, let's find out if Moon River is on the other side of this record here, or if it's another farting contest, or something completely different, maybe.
Shh, shh. Come on in, honey. Is your husband at home? Yes, I couldn't get him out.
When we suggested it might be porn, we were joking.
Maybe we better skip it. What do you think? No, not today. I can't. I need it today. Look, I'll put the milk bottles down right here, and we can go in the living room. The living room? I don't know. That's taking a chance. I mean, if he comes downstairs for anything. I know. Is he a strong sleeper? Fairly. Well, okay. I wouldn't want to get caught at the wrong time. Well, what time is he supposed to go to work today? Well, he's sleeping till about 10. But how about the laundry room? No, come on, let's go in there. He's going to sleep till 10. It's 6 o'clock right now. We got plenty of time. Come on.
Plenty of time.
Well, all right, if you're sure it's safe. Okay, come on, let's go in here now. Here we go. Shh, quiet. Hey, why don't you take off your bathrobe? Why didn't you take it off for me? Okay. There we go. There.
Wow. We were joking when we said, I hope it's not porn.
Really? How
my
did we...
God, I thought for sure it couldn't possibly be against the terms of service, but
What if I don't want it quick? Come on, let's not fool around. Let's get with it. You're so unromantic. Okay, I'll come back some other day when I got more time, but I'm in a hurry this morning. All right, put your bottles down. Okay, baby. Now would you start unbuckling my pants while I take my shirt off? I'd love to. All right. I got a big surprise for you, honey.
I think this is the record that Frank Zappa got arrested for making.
Really?
Yeah, you never heard that story? You never heard that story?
I didn't know that it would be in this genre, or so, shall we say?
Well, there was Frank Zappa in his real early days. He ended up owning a studio, Studio Z, and there was some undercover Vice Squad cop that was, trying to bust people for obscene things or whatever. And so as part of a sting operation, he hired the studio, or Frank Zappa, to make some kind of sex tape for a stag party. And I guess, it was early in his career, so he needed the money. And I guess they made some kind of silly tape, making squeaking sounds on a mattress and suggestive things in the microphone. And they got raided and arrested for making that tape. And most of Frank's tapes from that period of time were lost in the raid. Very few tapes survived from the Studio Z.
Oh, so they just grabbed everything and he didn't get it back.
Yeah, well, he got back a bunch of blank tapes at some point, and yeah.
Bizarre.
Yeah. So maybe that was the tape. I doubt it. But that's a weird flip side to that record. A fart joke, a sidelong fart joke, and a risque party record. Interesting. And no trucks being fucked. You don't remember that tape I have of the woman that stowed away in the banana truck? And you surely remember that.
I
tape.
don't remember that one.
Oh yeah, no, it was this porn 8-track I have that narrates the story of the truck stopper's wife who stowed away in a banana truck because she got tired of not being sexually satisfied by her husband that runs the truck stop. And of course it's a banana truck. So they have sex in the truck. They have sex with bananas in the truck. She uses bananas while he's driving the truck. They get pulled over by a police officer. They give sexual favors to the police officer to get off in more ways than one. And then at the end of the tape, she's, of course, still horny and ready to go again. He's like, I got to get these bananas to the destination. You'll just have to take care of yourself. Why don't you peel another banana? She's like, what do you think I am, a fruit salad? And so she decided that since he wasn't able to stop and sexually satisfy her, that instead she would get friendly with the truck and straddle the gear shift. And some of the great lines are there. Ooh, Mac's a good lover. Oh, fuck me, truck. And with that, you hear the sound of the truck driving away, and that's the end of the tape.
That's funny.
I'm surprised you didn't remember that one. I've played it for you multiple times by this point.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I don't remember. maybe you just don't have the voice for it.
No, I've played the actual. You've heard the. You know what?
Yeah. That's what I mean. You've played the actual, but this time when you're replaying it, it's in your voice, and yeah.
Well, let me see what we could. Oh no! I don't think I think I've lost my file for this. Oh no! Here it is.
I've gone through all that shit. Fireballing cross country, popping whites every 50 miles to keep from ending up in a ditch.
Anyways, we don't need to listen to all 20 minutes of this, so we'll just cut to the end here.
Well, hurry up. Or I'll have to start getting it on with this here gear shift.
Hey, get down here. There you go. Now follow me around the back. Hey, how's that look?
Pretty cozy. But what's in all those burlap sacks?
That's bananas. I gotta get them to Lubbock by tomorrow morning.
Ah. Don't mind a little company.
Just get on up there. I got my own little banana for you.
If it's the one you had up front, it ain't so little.
And it's getting bigger all the time.
Huh, that doesn't sound like the end. I don't think this file is complete. Oh man, don't tell me my file corrupted and I have to find the original tape now. I don't know where I have it.
Oh. No, I don't recall that. That doesn't ring a bell at all. We get the idea.
Flattered. Just for that, I've got a little treat for you. Think you can turn around without...
Oh man, there's something wrong with this file. It's missing part of it. We get the idea.
Much better.
Oh.
I can get my...
But it's not playing the waveform looks different from what it's playing.
Think you can turn around without...
Huh. That's weird.
Weird.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to dig that tape up now. Where do I have that?
By the way, one side question, I came across it. I came across this morning because we heard a song on watching an episode of Nash Bridges.
Okay.
You know, so you're talking about around 2000,
right?
And the vocal on the background song was kind of recognizable.
Okay.
But he wasn't recognized. I didn't recognize him for the group that he did this song on.
Okay.
The song he did was called, and actually Wikipedia, Shazam found it on while playing television on the. Come on, you dumb thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I recognize the guy's voice from his prior band, but this is the Queens of the Stone Age. And the album, in fact, this song has come on because I can't think of the song, is called Rated R. And there's different versions of it, but there's solid color with the Rated R logo in the bottom right. There's another version that's red. I think it's a newer release. But it came out about 2000, and the lead song on it, which is probably one of their best songs, is Lost Art of Keeping a Secret. Pretty cool song.
I see.
So are you familiar with this band at all?
I've heard of them, but I couldn't tell you a thing about them.
Yeah, the lead guy that started the band, his name is of course I'm not staring at the right place. Come on. Oh, Josh Homme is the vocalist. Homme. And before Queens of Stone Age, after I think it was, he was with I really suck at remembering exact things. I have to. After the Queens of Stone Age, he was with Them Crooked Vultures.
Okay.
Them Crooked Vultures also had John Paul Jones, which played with Led Zeppelin. So he got other people. But anyway, kind of an interesting.
I've heard of that band.
Yeah. And and it's kind of kind of alternative rock kind of stuff, which is cool.
Right.
And I like that style because it's different and it doesn't they try to be a little, shall we say, imaginative.
Okay. Anyways, that took us pretty much right to the top of the hour, end of the show. So we timed it perfectly here. So it's too bad Mars missed that, and it's too bad that Sparky bowed out. I guess he wasn't interested. And it's too bad Dune was a pussy and tuned out.
I take it in that topic we got going on. He decided that was time to leave.
I guess, I don't know, because all I was saying was that these tweets did happen, and it's shit talk.
Sure.
It's also very immature shit talk. But whatever,
It does. It's not that important.
But I'm going to be amused by it. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you can be amused. I mean, amused
exactly
by a lot of weird stuff too.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So and at least on the Twitch side, it says there's one viewer, which I think is me.
or me. So I don't even know if we should bother rating anyone, because I don't think we have any real viewers.
We have no clout in that area. Yeah.
I don't think it's embarrassing to raid someone with a really small raid.
Raided with 2 people. Yay.
Well, it says Mookie is watching us over on the Twitter stream. So maybe we could raid someone or maybe
on the Twitter stream or on the
oh my
Twitch?
God.
What?
You know what they did on Twitch?
What?
Which goes to our topic. Have you seen the Twitch channel that they had with Trump versus Biden, where it was an AI version of Trump and an AI version of Biden just doing AI back and forth debating and then they turned it to Trump versus Kamala after and then they switched it back to Trump versus Biden because people watch the channel and it generates income, I guess. They've updated the channel to now be Trump versus Elon. We have to watch some of this now.
We have to check it. Check it out.
I want you on your. I want Elon jerking on my penis 62 times, Trump. Fuck, I'm so pissed at you, you orange buffoon, you absolute fucking walrus turd. You think you can just fire me and cancel all my SpaceX contracts? Motherfucker, I'll launch your entire administration into the sun with my Starship. I've got rockets that can reach Mars and Twitter army that makes your January 6th crowd look like a fucking book club. You absolute fucking loser. I didn't just buy your presidency. I fucking engineered it like a Tesla Models, except with more explosions and daddy issues. AI algorithms knew you'd win before you even knew what a fucking algorithm was. You technologically illiterate potato. Jennifer Zanny, thanks. Hey, Jennifer Zanny, you're welcome. I'm always happy to help out my loyal fans.
What is that?
Some of the things that are thrown in there, like, wait, that part doesn't make any sense.
Well,
so it's got to be AI generated, I guess.
Oh yeah, it is. It absolutely is. It's an AI model that they take video, they analyze their voice, and they turn it into a bot, and people can give it prompts that it'll respond to, and apparently they're also programmed to dump on each other. So let's see what else he's saying.
Let's do this, Gina Presenti. Let's change the world together.
Let's see if Trump.
These 3 Nojai, you absolute fucking dumb fuck. I never wanted to put my Tesla up Trump's ass at his McDonald's party. That's just the kind of shit you make up to get me banned from Twitch. I'm not into that kind of stuff. All about the future and Mars, not shoving my car up some orange buffoon's butt. And Trump, you fucking imbecile. You're the one who's always talking about your tiny hands and how you're a stable genius. So maybe you're the one with the Tesla fetish, you absolute dick for brains. You know what? I'm going to launch your entire presidency into the sun with my Starship. That'll show you who's the real genius here. And S3 Noj, I hope your fucking fungus dies You absolute shit for brains loser. I'm done with this bullshit. I'm back to launching rockets and colonizing Mars. You two idiots can go fuck yourselves with a rusty lightsaber.
A rusty lightsaber.
Redrish, listen up, you fucking fungal freak.
Here we go.
You think I've got brain fungus? I've got the biggest, most beautiful brain in the whole fucking universe. It's like a goddamn skyscraper, the Trump Tower of brains. And you think some tiny little fungus is going to mess with that? Please. I've got more brain cells than you've got fucks to give, pal. My brain is like a fucking nuclear reactor. It's so powerful, it's not some fucking mushroom cap, okay? I'm the smartest person, the healthiest person, the most powerful person. I've never had a single fucking fungus in my life. I'm a fucking brain genius, okay? A brain king. So
Anyways, we get the idea of that. That is
Definitely,
special right there.
Oh, well.
You know what? I'm gonna, since it's just a bunch of robots running, there's no harm in just going ahead and raiding it, if there even is anyone that's still here.
What the heck, right?
Yeah, what the heck? We're gonna raid Trump versus Elon. All right, but before we do that, we must do this. Because once again, this has been another fun-filled edition of
Insert title here.
And we do try to be educational here. And I think we've all learned a whole lot here. And so, Brian, what have you learned?
There can be some. I'm getting weak on disco, right?
There we go. That is
I
something
like
you
some
learned.
of this stuff that you had a lot.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
And I learned that sometimes if you find a random unlabeled record, it might actually be not safe to play on this show. So, and I also learned that Dune's a pussy when it comes to the Trump Elon topic, unless he's just not showing up in the chat. Maybe he's still here. I don't know.
Maybe.
If he's still here, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And if he's not here, I'm probably still sorry. And I also learned that Sparky Toaster has 10 other tabs of more entertaining things to look at than our Dollar Bin specials. All right. Anyways, thank you everyone for viewing, and thank you Brian for joining us again this week. And we'll be back next week. Same bat channel, same bat place, same bat cave, I think.
And by the way, what a dollar buys you today? Did we even talk about that? Or what the Dollar Bin special?
Yes, all these are examples of what a dollar buys you today. So yeah, we absolutely discussed that. So what do you think? You think the dollar goes far, or do you think that the dollar's not worth much?
I think you got some gems there.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, those are some good.
Incidentally, they're talking about eggs. The price of eggs been going down for you?
I haven't been eating eggs lately, and that's just.
Oh, that's right, because it's an animal protein.
No. We're back on the. I never went off the animal proteins. I just got bored of eggs after eating them all the time. So.
Well, okay. Anyway, so
I've been on a fruit kick
and
for
we
breakfast.
find that Safeway, I think it's Safeway.
Okay.
Is still at the bird flu pricing, so it's high.
Yeah.
But Walmart, Target, other places that we've stopped at, they've decided the bird flu is over. So what's wrong with Safeway? They're fucked.
I don't know.
Whatever. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we're going to go ahead and raid Trump versus Elon. So let's see if anyone's here for that raid, and we'll be back next week.
Yeah.
And
right now it says we have 2 people. Woohoo!
Woohoo! 2 people. I think that's you and me. Is what
Probably.
That is right there.
Right. And on that thing it says that we're raiding Trump versus Elon.
Yep.
Let's see if it works.
You absolute fucking mushroom. If I was dying from fungus, I'd be the smartest, most innovative fungus the world has ever seen.
Okay, there we go. We've
All
successfully. All right. Well, I'll get.